And good morning, and welcome to this edition of the Isn't It Time Facebook Live show. Lovely to have you here. And you notice I've got little stars all around me. Today's a special day. Well, this weekend's special. It's my birthday weekend, and because I'm the age I am, I can have, like more than one day. So I thought I'd make a little stars today. Can you see it? Oh, there we go. I can see it. I'm looking at it. There we go. The stars. How cute is that? Morning, Miss Stacey. Lovely to have you here. I hope wherever you are, it is morning, Jen. I don't know where that little figure is. Hope wherever you are is good. We've had a huge rainstorm overnight. Oh my Lord. It started about 2 a.m. this morning, just thunder and lightning and pouring rain. So I kind of hopped on bomb when I got up this morning, Bureau of Meteorology, and just checked to see. Hopefully the farmers have got some. Morning, Louise. Lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. We're going to be talking today. I know, Stacey, right? Fellow Virgo. Yes. Because, we're practically perfect in every way. Just like Mary Poppins. So I went out this week and I've already got my present. So the kids and Jerry gave me a new frock, a new dress that I really wanted. So I was really thrilled that raced out. But consequently, I'm now intermittent fasting. About 4 days. No, I'm doing a presentation in New Zealand in 2 weeks' time, and I just loved this dress, but it's very tight, very fitting. So that's so about the 2 and 20 principle. It's just I know exactly what to do when I just need to kind of tone down just a little, and so it's working well. Love it, and of course champagne doesn't count, right? I still have champagne. I just, you know what? I can say to my clients all the time, if you really want to kind of get fit and lose a few kilos, get your favorite dress out, whatever it is, one that's a little bit too tight for you, and just have it sitting there in your closet where you can see it, and just it's that little bit of motivation that just keeps you going. Alrighty, thank you, Louise. Hasn't this been an incredible week? What a load of falafel is what I'm going to say has gone on in Canberra this week. But interestingly enough, and I wanted to share this before we're going to move on to our topic today, which is it's a little bit about what happened in Canberra during the week. But I'm preparing a presentation for women in leadership, and this week was kind of like life imitating art, because what was interesting in the presentation that I've been presenting and the research that I've been reading, a lot of it played itself out over this last week. And in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be launching a new program, and I'm also going to be presenting on this. So stay tuned. That'll be in Saturday, 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after. But yeah, interesting morning, Elle. Isn't it interesting what's going on this week? And I got to tell you, it just felt like as I said on a post, I just need to grab a whole heap of mothers, go down there and put them all in their offices and their rooms and tell them they can't come out until they play nicely. Just appalling behaviour. Interestingly enough, I think I mentioned last week the World Economic Forum places Australia number 46 in the world on gender equity. Yeah, exactly, Louise. Ridiculous and nonsense. We're listed as number 46 in gender equity, and on political opportunity, we're listed as number 61 in the world when it comes to women in representation. New Zealand ranks number 9, and they're 16th in the world when it comes to political representation. And I think we've slid another 2 percentage points this week. We just need more women in there. Interesting stuff. Anyway, what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking at how our unconscious bias keeps us playing small. Now, this came up this week with one of my clients. We were talking about how she had kind of thought she'd solved a lot of the issues in her life. She's been working very hard she stepped out of a very toxic corporate environment, and now she's kind of having to almost re-engineer her whole life about who she was in that corporate environment, and now who she's trying to find herself. And she had moved through some amazing stuff. She's done an incredible amount of work in the 8 months we've been working together, and really just nailing a number of issues. But what came up for her this week, and we talked about it a lot, and I see this happening. Hey, Sandy. Morning, Donna. Lovely to have you here. Let me know if it rained out there, Sandy, too, this last night. We had some massive rain out here. But let me get back on track. I can't get off track really easily. I'm allowed to. It's my birthday. All right. So we were talking about how you can get to a level, and then something will happen. It's like somebody, and it will post something. So a member of your family will say something. You will find yourself in a situation, and it feels like you just tumble back down the ranks again. It feels like, thank you, Donna, thank you. It feels like you are tumbling. And I was saying to her, I see this happen so many times, where we get to a point where we really think, oh God, I've just gotten through that and I'm getting it. And that's like something comes right out of the side and sideswipes you. And you're like, whoa. And she actually coined it. She said, I feel like I'm trapped in a box and I can't seem to get myself up out of it. Just as I tend to get on top of the box, something will happen and I'm pulled back into the box again. I thought it was just a great topic for our Facebook Live this week. And I want to talk about how it's our unconscious bias that often keeps us feeling stuck and small. And this went on in Canberra. You could see this playing out a lot in Canberra when, especially when Julie Bishop put her hand up to take over the leadership. Rightly or wrongly, whether she was right or wrong for the position, this woman's been in, mentor as a deputy to somebody for 10 years. Wouldn't you think that is the next stage for her to go? However, when you looked at that thing happening yesterday, men in white shirts and ties dominating yet again. And it's this unconscious bias. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, it often happens. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly, Donna. So, but you can see it kind of playing out. It's like a whole level of beliefs. No. What happened? Oh, are you still there? I just lost you. Oh, hello. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I lost everything. Oh, my Lord. Just let me know if you're still here. My goodness. What's going on here? Screen just went totally blank. Oh, let me know if you're here. Let me know if you can still hear me. My screen went off. I don't know if I'm talking to myself. Still here. Woohoo. My screen went totally black. I think it's got to do with my hold on a sec. I'm just going to make sure I'm all plugged in. Are we good here? Are we good? Let's hope we are. Don't you love technology when it's great when it works? Hold on a sec. Yeah, we're plugged in and we're charging. All right. Yep, we're all good. Plugged in and just charging, it's saying. Ugh. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully we're the last 29. Good. We're all here. Tap. Dear. All right, unconscious bias. So here we go. We have this whole level of beliefs that sit underneath the level of belief we think we have. Sometimes we can find the beliefs, but when we have this unconscious bias, we play out what we just believe, and sometimes we don't even know it. Now, I'm going to go back to talking about the leadership issue. A great quote I came across this week was, we all believe women would be good in leadership. We just don't expect them to be. Isn't that interesting? Unconscious bias. Oh, is that true, Donna? Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it's Be Live. I hope not. No, it's actually my computer this time. It wasn't plugged in properly. All right, let's go. So unconscious bias. So sometimes you don't even know you've got the belief, but it's when you feel like it's not shifting that it's about going back to the question, the powerful question, what's going on for me right now? Now, your family in particular, and maybe close friends, many of them, some of them, may not want you to change. That because whenever you change, it makes them have to look at what's going on for themselves. Now, when it comes to being trapped in this box, we just keep playing out the same story. Together with unconscious bias is another thing called stereotype threat. Stereotype threat is when we try desperately to change and we're putting ourselves out there to change. But what happens is because we have no anchor point, we have no term of reference, that it's our stress levels increase. We go into the flight, fight, and freeze response. And worst of all, what happens in stereotype that is we go back to acting out the way we normally do because that's what we know is safe. Now, this came about as a study done where they talked about, where they told us a group of Black students that typically Black students don't do well on maths exams. And then another group they told, no, do as best as you can, didn't set it up at all. The kids that were told that Black students aren't good at maths did worse on the exam than the other kids. Where that works in our lives is that when we are trying to step out of a stereotype, now a stereotype might be your whole family's told you all along, who do you think you are? You never go amount to anything. Just play, just be who you are. Why do you need to do anything else? When you're trying to release that, when you're trying to break out of that, it's like you're sitting on top of the box. Okay, you're up here on the box, but there's no point of reference. There's no like, okay, I've been here before, I know how to act. So when somebody comes in and sideswipes you, when you're trying desperately to be something different, your stress levels are too high. You go back to the way you've acted out before. How does this impact on leadership and stereotype in that aspect? It's like we play out the very thing we're trying hard not to be. So with stereotype threat is that when you are trying to change, just check, is this feeling fearful for me where I am right now? Is this feeling fearful? Because your brain doesn't want you to change. It will go back to those places where you feel comfortable, which is usually in old patterns. That's what it does. So it pulls the box around you. Okay, pulls the box around you so it's too difficult to step out of it. And that's why we're having so much trouble with supporting women in leadership. This is where this kind of is all coming into and folding, just talk about, as I said before, life imitating art. We're seeing how, to create this change we want in ourselves, because we can't change out there. If we want more women in leadership, we cannot look out there. We have to look internally. And that leadership starts with us. But what happens is we get pulled into fear. And how it plays out is it's playing out on the world stage, or in Australian politics. We keep looking at it as if this is all playing itself out in the outside world, but it's playing itself out in the inside world. Everybody went on. Oh, okay. Hi, Kathy from England. Lovely that you're here. So what's playing itself out was everybody was playing their stereotypical role. Everybody. The backstabbers, which is all about revenge, and then the white shirt brigade stepped up and said, we're going to fix this. We're going to have this. The female leaders, who has been the support of the Prime Minister all this time, puts her hat in the ring, and everybody goes, oh, no, we don't. No, we need strong men at this point of time to get through this. It just all played itself out so beautifully. Now, we can't change that really, circle of concern, circle of influences, Stephen Covey talks about. But what we can do is change ourselves. So it's like if you get caught in this trap of being stuck in a box, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or the other way, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, is to ask yourself the question, what am I most fearful of? It's never about the person. It's never about what's happening. It's about what's happening within. Do you know, in order to change this gender equity, gender parity issues, we have this belief, I think I did anyway, that we're making it better for our daughters. The research is showing pure gender equity will not be reached for 279 years in the current rate we're doing it. And we can't keep continually to look outside. We have to do this from within. We have to do it 1 step at a time. Okay. So when you're sitting outside of the box and it feels so scary and someone comes in and sideswipes you, don't go back in the box again. Don't go back in the box again. Stay outside it and ask the question, what is this here to teach me? What am I not seeing yet? Because so much of this is unconscious bias. We don't know the beliefs we don't know we have. So when we step outside, when we're sitting out in that box and you just want to close in and you want to make everybody wrong and you get upset by what people say to you, that right there and then is the point of change. That's it. That's it. Right there and then. And if you can ask yourself the right question, what's going on for me? What am I most fearful of? What do I need to do to sit up on top of this box? That's where the change is going to occur. But to recognize, remember, it takes courage. We talked about this every week. Courage, compassion for yourself and compassion for others. Thank you, Kathy. And it is courage, compassion, and commitment to uncertainty. When you're sitting up on top of that box, it is an uncertain place to be. But the thing is, we go back to what we know. We don't like women leaders in this country. We don't. Whenever a woman steps up to be empowered, to be strong, there is like a dam opens up of criticism. And so for us as women, even if it is just about stepping up and telling your truth, we can see in the past what's happened to women who have done it in the past. And it may have even happened to you. So, in order to change this whole, I'm just, to me, after doing all this research in the last few weeks on women in leadership, I am more and more determined that we have to, as individuals, change our whole view of this ourselves, is to look at where in our own lives we are stepping back from the leadership in our own lives, which is authentic courage, authentic truth-telling. Yeah, that's exactly right, Donna. It's Brene Brown talks about authenticity as a daily practice, and that's what it is. It's a daily practice because it is so fearful. We don't like women leaders. In fact, all the research has shown that we like the deputy. We like the woman to be the deputy. But the minute the woman steps up to be a leader, and this trickles down, this comes from the top down. A woman steps up to the leader, she is open to criticism and suddenly goes from high popularity, happened with Hillary Clinton, happened with Julia Gillard, was about to happen with Julie Bishop. She would have sensed it coming, I'm sure. But it will happen in our own lives. The minute we become talking about telling the truth, we have to let go of this commitment to uncertainty. We have to stop expecting that the outcome will be how we want it to be. And as I said to another client this week, when you tell yourself the truth, When you speak your truth, you cannot go backwards ever. When you find that sense of who you are, you've already changed the neurons in your brain. You can't go back. But what you will do is step back into the box. And when you step back into the box, it will be worse for you because you'll know what it felt like out there. That courage. Yeah. Stay in your truth. Yeah, 2 steps towards positive. I know. And you know what? That's what it is. It's what it is. It's like this fear that rises because of this stereotype threat we play out as women in particular. Now, men do it too, but for this Facebook Live, I'm talking about women, that we do that. We see, if I step out and say my truth, I'm going to get criticized. If I speak my truth, someone in my family is going to tell me off. My friends are going to look at me with one eye raised. They're going to make fun of me. It's playing itself out big time everywhere. And the change is not going to happen out there. We can't expect it to. We have to change it from within. Because when we change, remember the Heart Math Institute stuff we talk about all the time? When we change, it's frightening coming out of the box. It is, Kathy. It's terrifying because we have no anchor point. But that's where EFT and tapping, that's where meditation and journaling will keep you out there. We can't change the stereotype from outside of us, and we can't change the unconscious bias from outside of us. We can't keep continually looking out there for the change. We create the change within us and that circle of influence that we have around us. You know what? I'm watching my daughters all the time, and I'm asking myself, am I exhibiting true, authentic feminine leadership in anything that I do? It's not just about work. It's about how you live your life. That's it. It's are we showing the leadership in the lives? Are we saying no as a complete sentence and feeling comfortable with it? Are we playing into this imposter syndrome where we think, oh my God, I'm out here and I don't know what to do. I better be a superwoman or I better be a perfectionist. And the whole thing about gender equity and leadership, and I'm running on and on because I've been immersed in it for the last 4 weeks, but I can see it. We can't create this change until we create the change within us. So today, we're going to finish off with tapping. We're going to be tapping on fear of sitting outside of the box. And what I would like you to do today is think of a time that you've wanted to step out. Yeah, I've been preaching, stay in your truth to others. I do feel like I've been doing that, but I have to be careful for setbacks. Yeah, we do. Have to be careful for setbacks, absolutely. A setback, remember, is just an opportunity to look at whether you really believe in yourself. That's all it is. It's like your divine being, your high self, the universe, God, whatever the terminology is you use to describe that wonder outside of us, is just tapping you on the shoulder to say, really? You really think you've got your act together now? Let me just give you another little tap to just see if you're on track. That's all it is. All right. So I want you to think for a moment this week where you felt like you were trapped in the box, when you went back to the old way and the fear was there. Okay? Just write it down. Write it down. Love your aha, Sandy. Even though this week I felt myself stepping back into the box because it was fearful, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though sometimes it feels like everything's just going well, and then something happens and I feel straight back into that box. I deeply and completely, sure you want this, Donna? Oh, yes. Accept myself and how I feel. even though sometimes it feels like the world is imploding on me. It's so fearful to be my authentic self. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Tapping all this fear, I slip back so easily. This fear, it's nothing but fear, but it's so scary. All this fear, I know it's just fear. But man, this is hard. Try to stay outside of the box. Trying to stay on top of the box. This fear, I can feel this fear. This criticism. So hard to stay on top of that box. All this fear. All this fear. Okay, just take a deep breath. So this week, it's about, catching yourself. When things are going forward and then you find yourself, what does Sandy say, 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, stop right there. It's that moment of empowerment when you stop, get what's going on? What am I doing? What's going on? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it, am I fearful of criticism? Am I fearful of judgment? Here I am. I thought I was a really aligned person and now this has happened. What is it? What's going on for me? And if you ask the right question, you'll get the right response, remember. Then to tap. Let's do a reframe now. Pull out the I am statement. I'm not going to do this. Because we're running out of time. The box is opening, Sally. Beautiful, Kathy. Open it up and then sit on top of it for a while. Do you know the thing is, though, you open it up and you sit on top and sometimes there's nobody else there. It takes a while for everybody else to catch up. And it's that point that you need to just pull on your big girl's pants. Find the courage. Know that authenticity, I'll say that again. Authenticity requires courage. Remember, it's a daily practice. Speaking your truth requires courage. It's a daily practice. And the commitment to uncertainty. All right, let's just go straight into the reframe, okay? I am powerful. I choose to sit on top of this box. I am powerful. I choose to sit on top of this box. I choose to forgive those who are trying to keep me in the box. I forgive myself for falling back into the box. I am powerful. I am enough. Okay, just take a deep breath. Now, you probably pulled some I am statements out of that. Write those down in your journal. I just want to pop up what Kim just said because that's really powerful. The wilderness is being brave, but it's also empowering. I just got to close this. We're empowering to take the steps and breathe in the wilderness. The air is fresh. Beautiful, Kim. Gee, that's lovely. Yeah, that's so true. Beautiful. That's lovely. Oh, fabulous, Sandy. No more hospital visits. Oh, you can take a breathe. Now this is time. Just take a breath, Sandy. You can breathe. For those who don't know, Sandy is out at Charleville. She's been back and forth numerous hospital visits with her young son over the last period of time, and visits to the hospital involve a round trip from Charleville. So 6 months break. That's wonderful, Sandy. You can kind of breathe. Well, everybody, we're top of the hour at 8 o'clock. Thank you for being here this week. Just remember that box. And every time you feel it playing small and stuck, just check what unconscious bias you're buying into. See if you're playing out those stereotypes. As I said, in 7th of September, I will be doing this whole presentation on women in leadership. I'm sharing it after I do the keynote, and a brand new program that we will be launching. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you, Louise. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I'm on my birthday weekend. I shall be having champagne, I know. And the good one. It's sad my kids aren't here, but anyway, you're welcome. Yeah. Print that. That's wonderful. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I hope wherever you are, everybody out in the West, let's hope that they get some rain out there. I saw where 30,000 Muslims prayed for rain. How beautiful was that? Let's just hope this that it works. I truly believe in the power of intention and prayer. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I will see you this time next week. Bye for now.